Hello, y'all. hello. Good evening, good
Good
night,
evening.
good night. Listen, if y'all ain't never, ever shared this podcast, tonight is the night that I need you to share this podcast. Okay? Some of y'all were on the last live we were on, and you seen the struggle. But could you look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, we
A
made it?
little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing.
Listen, when I tell you I'm determined. I am too determined. In a second, I'm going to get into why I'm so determined, why I refuse to give up on going live tonight with my girl Butterfly. It's like she don't even know how she's inspiring me in this moment. I haven't even told her yet. She don't even know why I'm so adamant about not folding on this live. Okay, but I'm gonna get into it. Y'all come on in. Welcome to another episode of Freedom Friday. This is your girl, Miss Q, aka Apostle Q, BKA Quinetta Thomas, your mind whisperer, president and CEO of Diamonds in the Rough, Diamond Dynasty, and Diamond Graphics. Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. And as you're coming in, I'm asking that you please make yourself known. I want to know who I'm talking to. I want to acknowledge you. I want y'all to shout some people. As a matter of fact, I want y'all to tag 5 people as you're coming in. Please forgive our tardiness. I promise we had a good reason. I promise we had a good reason. But as you're coming in, tag 5 people. Trust me, they're going to want to hear what's getting ready to take place on tonight. The podcast title, as you can see listed below, is The Silence in the Noise. If you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to hit that like button. Okay, comment as well. We want to hear what you have to say. And hit that notification button so that you can see every single time we go live. And if you want to be interviewed on Freedom Friday, please send your submissions to DITRINTLcorp@gmail.com. Major shout out to my brothers, Jacob Anderson, Eddie Jones, Pebbles, 810 Studios. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. One time for y'all. Listen, I gotta get into it. I gotta get off. I gotta skip the preliminaries on tonight. Cause listen, okay, as you can see, you only see one screen, which is my screen, but you're going to be hearing the audio from Rebecca Butterfly Vaughn. Reason being, we had so much kickback, y'all, trying to get on here tonight that we had to figure out a way to do it and do it well. Praise God. Praise God. So you're going to see my face, but you're going to hear her audio. So let me get into the reason as to why I was so adamant about doing this podcast and not rescheduling, even with all the challenges and the kickbacks and the technical difficulties. It's because Rebecca, I hope you don't mind me telling it, but
Tell it.
okay, she had an incident earlier today, you know, where she ended up passed out on the floor and ended up in the ER. And when she told me, I asked her, we can postpone this if you want to. And her response to me was, the devil is a liar. When she said that, I was through. I was done. I already knew I was going to get some kickback. Okay. Just because of what she experienced, but because she chose to persevere. Mind you, she was in the emergency room. Before she got to the emergency room, she was laid out on the ground, passed out for 30 minutes. Hello, somebody. So for me, when she told me that, when she told me the devil is a liar and she's going to continue to do this podcast, far be it from me to fold. So just in case you were wondering, Rebecca, why I was so adamant about not quitting, it's because of you. It's
We
most
got we got a Michael Jordan vibe going on. Remember when he played in that game with 100? I think it was 110 degree fever.
Oh yes, yes, I remember. I remember. But I just needed you to know that you're the reason why I was not finna quit on tonight. Because to me, the fact that you are willing to press through a health scare just to be on this show, far be it for me to fold and be like, you know what? I don't think we should do this. No, I was gonna move heaven, hell, and some more stuff. Okay, I was gonna move heaven, hell, and some more stuff to get you up here tonight, and here we are. Praise
Here
God.
we
We
are.
made it.
And it's interesting because just as I was, trying to, get on and everything, just a quick flash of what my Google News is, and I got a glimpse where it said that Method Man speaks out on mental health. I was
Wow.
like, and that's what I said. I was like, wow. And
Wow.
that's another reason why I was like, I just got to press through, because we're all assigned to people.
Yes.
We're not here just for ourselves, although we do live in a selfish, at this point in time, heartless world. We were all born for a reason, a mission, a purpose. And for some people, when you're not walking in that purpose, it's going to keep chasing you.
Ooh, you better
It's
preach.
going to keep riding your heels until you turn around and say, okay, 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 I got you. I hear you. And sometimes there are tragic moments that will push you in your purpose. Like, I would love and give anything to bring Trayvon Martin back.
Yes.
But that's just it. If Trayvon didn't leave this world the way that he did, would Sabrina Fulton be in the position that she's in?
My God. My
Along with
God.
Amadou Diallo, if he didn't leave this world the way that he did, would his mother be in the position that she's in? See, we know how we got here. We don't know how we're going.
My
We're
Lord.
born, we're going to die, but in between is our dash. And when we go back to the grave with every dream inside of us, with every vision inside of us, with every, direction
Untapped
of destiny
potential.
doors, that's
Yes.
a blasphemy to God right there,
Yes.
because we were not born to just be born. When people, through the years, and I would hear where they say, you never ask a woman her age. I've never been big on that, because when you walk through the kids section of the cemetery and you look and you see where that death day and birthday is the same day,
My.
tell your age. 5 years is 5 years, 10 years is 10 years, 20 years is 20 years, 50 years is 50 years. And that's just it. If you notice, in the last 2-3 years, people have been leaving up out of here at 40, at 42, and it doesn't matter how healthy. You have people who are very healthy, who eat healthy, still dying from a stroke
Yes.
or a heart attack.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
you know
Absolutely.
and and so I've always shared my age. I've always told my age, and it balanced out. Some people like, you don't look it, and then some people like, okay, I can see it. So it is what it is. But it's all in a feeling, in a moment, because even that child who died that same day they were born, their mission probably was that mother was told she would never be able to give birth naturally.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow. Wow.
so
Wow.
here it is. She carried the 40 weeks, had the baby. Baby's mission is complete. She had a baby naturally.
Wow. And you know what's so funny? We don't see it like that because
No, we're never going to see it like that, Quinetta, because we live in a world where people are surface riders. Very few
ooh,
people tend to go into the abyss. Very few people um, don't see the bigger picture.
yes.
Very, very few. Perfect example. We can track back to the draft, and how three guys didn't get called, but this one guy, I don't remember his name now, but that's just it. He went back the next day, and he said his reason and purpose for going back was he just wanted to bask in the moment,
Mm.
that it was a moment of a lifetime. And okay, he didn't get called or anything, but guess what? He did end up getting called.
Mhm.
Because one thing about your passion, your heart's desire, God and the universe will put you in a position emotionally and mentally to see how bad you want it.
Yes, sir. You better listen. I feel like I
Because
need to
some
sit back
people
tonight,
want
y'all.
something, but if it doesn't manifest or doesn't come in their microwave manner, when it finally does come, they don't want it no more. They've lost interest.
Why do you think that though? Why do you think that?
And
Why do
that's
you think that?
because that's just it. They put it out there and they want it now.
Don't want to work
It's
for it,
no
in
more
other
different
words.
than me doing what I do or a pastor doing what he does, and he's paid his dues. But then you get a young up and coming pastor come along and they see the perks, they
Wow.
see the platform, and they want that right now.
Yes.
They don't want to go through the ranks and pay their dues.
My God.
And unfortunately, to an extent, that's not how life works. That's why, when you see people and they're like overnight success, there's no such thing as overnight success. It appears to be overnight success because on Thursday night you heard nothing of no Lola Taylor.
Mhm.
Then on Friday night, all of a sudden, Lola Taylor blowing up.
Right.
But when
Right.
you sit down and watch an interview with Lola Taylor has been at what she's been doing
For
for 10
years.
years, 15 years, 30 years. And then finally, her breakthrough came.
My.
There's
So in
5 people that I carry in my pocket, and it is for these particular reasons. One, Alicia Keys, with regards to pressing on, pressing through, not giving up.
mhm.
In the earlier stages of her, career and doing her music, she had so many voices, telling her, "Oh, I'm gonna take you here, I'm gonna elevate you here, and I'm gonna make this happen for you." And it never, nothing was falling through, and she was about to give up. As you can see, the rest is history.
Right.
Usher, with regards to not listening to the naysayers. His peers was like, "Oh, you don't have no talent. You can't this and you can't that. You can't sing, you can't dance, da, da, da."
Wow. Are you
As you can
serious?
see, the rest is history.
Wow.
Monique, with regards to believing in yourself,
Mhm.
where she walked into her boss's office, turned in her resignation papers, and told him, "I'm going to go be a star."
Wow. Wow.
And then the last two are the main ones. Al Jarreau, with regards to "It's Never Too Late."
Mhm.
He didn't break out into the music industry until he was 37. That's old back in those days. But the main one of the 5 is Samuel L. Jackson, with regards to "Stay in Radar." If
Wow.
Hollywood is paying him what he's supposed to get, kudos, Michael Jackson dance. But if they're not, he still took the gig because he said, when you step back, you got to build your name all over again. Why? Because that's just it. Every day somebody new is
Wow.
coming along in the field of what you're doing.
Mhm.
So they have their momentum and they have their fan base. And so now you have to build your momentum all up again because you went hiatus or you backed off. He said, "Nope, stay in radar."
Mighty God. Stay in radar. I feel like I want to type that in the comment section real quick. Stay in radar. Because if you back up, you got to start all over again. It's like you got to rebuild that momentum. So stay in radar, y'all. I feel like somebody really needed to hear it. If you didn't
Let me
get
tell you, let me
nothing
tell you how
else,
serious it is, that with regards to
jeez.
myself and how branded I am. When I got to the ER, why there was a staff worker that walked in and he was like, "Hey, poet."
Wow. Wow. Are you serious?
As God is my only judge.
My God. My God.
And he asked me, he said, "I haven't seen you in a while." He said, "Are you still doing your poetry?" I said, "Yep, till the day I die."
I know that's right. Because guess what? We got to what? Stay in
In
Radar. Listen, and you know what's so crazy? We haven't even really started yet. This is just flowing. Like we really just flowing. I haven't even introduced her. I'm just so far gone off the fact that this tower of a woman, I don't even know what to call her, was willing to persevere from the emergency room just to get on this podcast tonight. I'm so taken aback and I'm so honored and I'm so humbled. Like I'm so serious, Butterfly. Like I don't
It,
think you realize what it means to me that you were willing to fight through. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to
like
keep talking.
I actually asked the nurse, I was like, you think I'll be out of here by 5 o'clock? Because I got an interview this evening at 7:30.
Jesus Christ, y'all. Like,
And she was like, well, I don't know, because it's after 1 o'clock now. And they still got to do vitals and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I just played it by ear.
wow. Okay, so let's do this the right way. Let me officially introduce this woman who is so dear to my heart, and she know why. For more reasons than one, Butterfly. For more reasons than one, she is so dear to my heart. This lady done gave me so much kickback. She done gave me so much kickback over the few years that I've known her, but regardless, I refuse to give up on her. Like I don't know what it is about Butterfly. It's just something that is so special about her to me that no matter what, no matter how much she tried to kick back, Butterfly, no matter how much she tried to kick back, I had to hold her right here. Cause I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be going through all kind of stuff and just don't understand and nothing makes sense and you're asking God why and you start to give up on God and for some reason God just won't let you go. You
Nope.
understand what I'm saying? For some reason he just won't let you go. And
You
so
sure not.
a lot of the times when you were going through some of your stuff, I saw myself all over again. I really did, cause I told we're gonna get into that. Let me officially let me do my dollar. Let me introduce you properly. All right, so on this week's episode of Freedom Friday, we have none other than the icon who is Rebecca Butterfly Vance, who is a Miami native and has been performing for 26 years, y'all. Imagine doing spoken word. I mean, and mind you, she does this off the dome. She don't write it down. I hope y'all know that. Butterfly don't write nothing down. When she gets up and spit, she literally freestyles. Okay? For 26 years, she took a leap to be a full-time spoken word poet artist in 2002. She released 14 studio albums. She serenaded the likes of Nikki Giovanni, Keith Sweat, Barris Hammond, who I love, 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 Maxwell, Kiki Palmer. Hold on, y'all. I almost lost my spot. Kiki Palmer, Fantasia, Betty Wright, rest in peace, Betty Wright, Charlie Wilson, to name a few. She graced the same stages as Pastor Shirley Caesar, Monica, Kim, Tank, Stephanie Mills, Lenny Williams, just to name a few. She's one of 20 women acknowledged on Hot 105 for Women's History Month. Keynote speaker for Broward County Honor Society Convention, known to leave audiences amazed by the ability to create in the moment. And when I say she will amaze you, okay, I think I've seen you at least 5 times. And every time you leave the stage, I say to myself, how in the world does she do that? Like, how do you get on stage and gather the room? Like, it's like as if you take an inventory of the room, you read the room, and you just start spitting. How do you do that? I know it's
I
a gift.
love words.
Oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
literally, I love words. When I first started in 2002, as far as to do it full time, like going full time. And I released my first album in October of 2002. Didn't find out till later that I had released my album on the exact same day as Floetry had released theirs, October 2nd.
Wow.
So anyway, in St. Louis, there was this event called the Spoken Word Expo. Well, I sent my album and everything, to possibly see if I can get on to be a part of the main night. And the gentleman, Ron Chill at the time, he actually called me and we had conversation. He said, "Well, first off, sister," he said, "I got to congratulate you on being the first to have their CD as if you bought it out of the store."
Mm.
He's like, "You got your barcode, your shrink wrap, all of that." And he say, "I'm used to, poets with a CD and black marker and stuff like that." And I told him, I say, "Well, in anything that you do, you have to set a tone, but also when you're selling something to someone, as an artist, you want them to feel like they actually did go to at that time, Specs or FYI, or a record store and literally picked up your CD, off the rack."
Right.
So anyway, I get up there and it was a 3 day, like a 3 day event. And that Friday night was like the opening night and like open mic. And it was over about 50 or 60 people. So at the end of the night, I asked him, "Can I have the open mic list?" Because poets, we don't have our name. We have stage
Stage
names.
names.
So he was like, "Sure." He was like, "Can I ask why?" I said, "You'll see tomorrow night." So sure enough, I managed to memorize 40 of the 60 stage names.
Wow.
So the night of the main shindig, I go up on stage and I say to the audience, I say, "Y'all ready to have some fun?" They're like, "Yeah." So I start the poem. By the time I mentioned about the fourth or fifth stage name in the poem, the poets started to realize what was going on. And so they stood up. So
Wow.
by the time I finished the poem, you literally saw 40 poets standing up in the audience.
Wow. Wow. Like I'm literally visualizing that in my head. Like, and you have a way of doing that. Like you leave something in the air. I mean, I've seen you at a funeral and just have people looking like, did she just? Yeah, she did. I mean, absolutely amazing. And I can only imagine what it takes to be who you are. The amount of fortitude and the amount of strength that it takes to push and press and persevere and smile when you really want to cry and still
Yep.
show up and still do what you do, not knowing. Listen, okay, we going to get into that. But before we do, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you, oh, before I even ask you that question, we are in the month of May, and this is the month of mental health awareness. Y'all know that's my thing. Y'all know that's what I advocate for. We are literally in the month of mental health awareness. And when we're done with this podcast, I'm going to do like a little small campaign, nothing too major, but y'all check on somebody today.